What's happening, fam? L.A.R movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon, Kindle, and CreateSpace. A link will be in the description box below, as usual. This video is entitled, Do Black Women Want a Golden Parachute? For some of y'all, CEOs get a golden parachute. Whether they do good with the business or bad with the business, they set it up so they get paid a ridiculous amount of money for their job, whether they actually added some value to the company or they actually took something away from the company. So regardless of good or bad job, they get they get a parachute, a golden parachute. So you can literally drive $1 billion company into the ground and get $50 million on the way out. You can literally make $1 billion company worth $1.5 billion and get $50 million on the way out. The thing about it is, it doesn't really matter whether you succeed or fail. You get what I'm saying? So I was listening to Cynthia G and Chrissy a couple of days ago, and I've listened to the sisters talk about this, about black men not being builders and providers and protectors, and I heard a brother say the same things, like, yeah, we haven't built anything and we haven't provided anything, and I understand all of that, but sometimes I would wonder, because if you look at it, if you want black men to do the same building that quote unquote white men have done, and I've brought this point up before, they didn't build it though. We built this country. Black men built the country. Black women to say, yes, we did it too. I understand. Yeah, you did too, but like it's been said plenty of times, from slavery on, the slave trade, the last 80 years brought women. So it was like 200 and something, maybe 300 years of just male labor for free. Women didn't come until, the last, you could say, quarter, of all of the work being put in. Now, the other thing would be, as far as Reconstruction, that was building things, right? That's why Jim Crow had to be instituted. The Civil Rights Movement, that was building things, and thus, you would call war and the drug era. After that, I think you could say the 80s. It was a bit of post civil rights and the actual drug economy making people rich. Thus, the drug laws, right? So there's always been a one step forward, two step back thing when it came to black men building in America in general. But the thing about that is, our women always want something out of that. And when I referenced about white building like white men, black men can probably say, look, first of all, if you want to say white men built this stuff and maintained this stuff, you see how their women don't even appreciate it. And we can say that since you took on feminism, you emulate that woman. So even if we built it, we already kind of can see where this is going to go. Like, you're not going to appreciate anything, and you're just going to, try to undermine the process for a check. And destroy what was already built. The reason why I bring up the golden parachute is because the things that it's like women want men to build a platform for women to feel exalted and taken care of and provided for and presented as a crown jewel. But after that presentation, just want the men to disappear. You know, now that you've presented me to the world as the creme de la creme, get out of here. And the guys are like, ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen. So what you want is, you want a golden parachute. You want a good payout so you can go do your thing. The thing about a golden parachute sometimes is you got to disappear after you get it. See, people blame the ills of the black community on the black woman. And I'm not just talking about black men. I'm talking about American society in general. Because of the welfare mindset, kind of, the taking on of you took the state on as your man. So, and it's not that you just took the state on as your man, back in the day when it came to the welfare system. What was spawned out of that was generations of women who understood they could use the state as their man, even if they weren't on government aid. Like, divorce, settlements, family courts, child support, etc., etc. You don't have to be on government assistance for that. You just use the government as a financial substitute for the man that's in the household. And the problem with that is that certain space wielded a certain power because the women have, mothers are quote unquote the first teachers. So if you're the first teachers, then people look at the 60s to now and they look at the dismantling of the black community, and they can literally say when the men, the less men you have in the household, the less skills you have in the community, because the skills weren't getting taught, weren't getting passed down from generation to generation. So thus, communities are getting gentrified because people don't even know how to keep them up. People don't even know how to maintain them because they were basically female enclaves, single mother enclaves. So they didn't know how to take care of them. And you could blame the men, but at the same time, if you blame the men, you also have to blame the state. Because if you take on the state as your man to replace your man, then you say the state should fix it, right? So it's really a catch-22. So when you want these guys to now, after all of these years, come and rebuild, not build, rebuild. If they rebuild, you want to get paid for your services of being in the community and creating this situation, or having a predominant role in this situation. And I'm from the quote unquote rebuilders, right? So they need to pay sisters out. And if we pay y'all out, then what? I mean, because some of you want to be looked at as a crown jewel, but the guys don't know what the guys don't know actually where you fit in the crown. Because for all of these years you've been taking payouts, whether it's from the state, whether it's from ex-husbands, whether it's from your children's father, whether it's from simps, you've been taking payouts. So when it comes from family support systems, payouts, because a lot of times family support the girls in the family way more than they do the boys. So at the end of the day, we don't see where your skill set is, because you never really had to show your skills. And some of you know what I'm saying, and some of you don't, but that's up to y'all. But everybody wants payment for their services rendered, and we don't know what y'all service is. But if you got a payout, if black men gave you a golden parachute, the problem is we already see what you would do with it by the reality TV stars that you like so much, by the females that you follow so much, who have in some ways got golden parachutes by marrying rich guys, or getting pregnant by rich guys, and we see that garners nothing either. Like, you really don't see these women after they get this golden parachute do anything with their lives but shop and take pictures. They even outsource their parenting once they get a payout. So the question is, do y'all want a golden parachute? But if y'all want a golden parachute, then I think that can be arranged with the men under one condition: we get the kids. Because if you want to look at the last 100 years, it's evident that the community raised better children under fathers than they did mothers. So, it's just a thought. Like, you want a golden parachute, I think it can be worked out, but the men got to get the kids. I mean, y'all got the kids and y'all getting paid now, and it's not really working. So you can have all the freedom you want to go shopping and go to brunch and go get your hair done and go get your nails done and do all the leisurely things you want to do and go impress men of your own race and other races and look presentable. So tell me what you think. All right.